Well, President Biden has wrapped up what his aides had billed as a major speech on the economy in Chicago, looking to make the case that Bidenomics, as they're calling it, is working for the American people. All major public opinion polls, though, show that voters hold an overwhelmingly negative view of the president's handling of the economy as his reelection campaign ramps up.
And our Newsmax chief White House correspondent James Rosen is live on the North Lawn with more. Good afternoon, James.
Katrina and Bob, good afternoon to you. In his remarks just now, President Biden said that Bidenomics is about the future, the restoration of the American dream, after what he called 40 years of failed trickle-down economics, a view of recent history that appears to lump the Obama-Biden administration in with those of Presidents Reagan, Bush 1 and 2, and Trump as practitioners of supply-side economics. Flanked by two large blue Bidenomics signs, the president spoke for some 37 minutes in the grand lobby of the old post office in Chicago. Though it was billed as an official, not campaign event, Mr. Biden boasted of his early endorsements from labor groups. He touted strong job growth and historically low unemployment, while acknowledging more work to do to curb inflation and rein in the profits of big oil and cryptocurrency traders. And there was this blast at the fossil fuels industry, not likely to sit well with centrist Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, mentioned by some as a possible candidate for the presidency next year on an independent no-labels ticket.
You're not going to see anybody building a new coal-fired plant in America. Not just because I'd like to pass a law to say that. It's too expensive. It doesn't work anymore. Solar power is not just here, but around the world. And we used to be the center of building these solar panels. We're coming back and doing it again. America's going to lead again.
Now, with or without the use of this term, Bidenomics, which just 11 days ago the president used that term and said, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's working, it's clear he has his work cut out for him in terms of turning around public opinions and perceptions of his handling of the economy, according to RealClearPolitics.com, which compiles daily an average of the major reliable polls on this subject. The president is facing a negative spread on average of 17 points. Bob and Katrina.
All right, James Rosen, thank you. And here with his thoughts, member of the House Financial Services Committee, Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser. Congressman, your response to what they're calling Bidenomics?
Well, I had a chance to actually hear some of the speech, and, some might argue that Bidenomics is the Biden family doing business with members of the CCP and getting rich about it along the way. Others, my constituents and families and small businesses, feel the impact, the suffering under so-called Bidenomics. We've had the highest levels of inflation in 50 years. We've had the highest interest rates in 40 years. Banks are being rattled. Housing is more expensive. Buying a car is a lot more expensive. And you know what, Bob, the worst part? That my constituents are paying nearly $900 to $1,000 or more is taken out of their disposable income because of so-called Bidenomics. There's an assault on American energy. And he likes to talk how negatively he does about fossil fuels and all the other, renewables, but he has just little capacity to understand that we need all of the above and all of the below. And meanwhile, it's a beautiful thing, and I have a bill called Batteries USA. They actually put in the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, the most misnamed bill ever in my recollection, they put a tax on American-made batteries. So American-made batteries have an added tax due to Bidenomics. Foreign-made batteries, no added tax. So when you make it more expensive to do business in the USA, you get less American-made goods. It's really that simple, and these folks seem not to understand that.
Well, Congressman, switching directions a little bit, you mentioned, of course, the Biden family and alleged criminal activities. There, of course, is a new IRS whistleblower who has come forward, and here's what he said to CBS about that.
Shapley, who is still working for the IRS, told us that even before President Biden took office, he was directed to avoid leads involving Hunter's father.
There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them?
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them?
That's correct.
Yeah, Congressman, this even appearing on, of course, CBS News, part of big media, even they're covering it now. Do you think anything is going to come of it, or is the DOJ simply turning its back on what seems to be important leads?
They'd like to turn their back on it. They would turn their back on it, frankly, if we did not have a Republican majority pushing the transparency and the truth. He seems like a very, very credible individual. He's been there for, what, 17 years? What's his axe to grind? His axe to grind is that Weiss, the U.S. attorney in Delaware, was, according to him, informed by Attorney General Garland not to pursue the case, to leave hands off, to break up the group that knew or had a full understanding that Hunter Biden was up to no good with the level of taxes and all he owes. He got stuck supposedly with $100,000. That gentleman, Shapley, is saying that it's $600,000. Here's the deal with the scandal. We have 18 different bank accounts, right, in the neighborhood of $8-9 million, all kinds of family members. We have White House records. We have the laptop. We have voicemails. We have the president telling his son, hey, I think you're in the clear. You're going to be okay. I mean, there's a lot of smoke here. There's the most recent, hey, I'm here with my father, and you better pay us to a CCP member or else, basically. So the idea that Garland might be backing off, and let's face it, this hand slap, this ridiculous indictment and charge on Hunter Biden is clearly we have an unequal justice system. And I will tell you, Katrina and Bob, my constituents feel it, are saddened by it, and they're also furious about it.
All right. Congressman Dan Meuser, thanks so much for your insights. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Katrina.